idolization of being alone that's come about in recent years is something I'm kind of split on, In its ground state, I would say, I'm kind of for it. Because, during my most formative years, I subscribe to that idea of just put your head down, don't talk to people, just try to make it on your own, right? Try to develop your skills. But the thing that's missing from that equation is probably the most important skill we have in the modern day, which is our social skills, right? Like if you're spending all your time at home, you're missing out on all of the development of your social skills. And you can read books, you can do all this, you can try to improve them, which is good. I recommend reading like How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's a good one, right? But if you're not applying these principles enough to where they can become subconscious, then I don't think you're gonna reach the same level as other people. And why social skills are so important now is because it's the age of the internet, it's the age of information, right? Back in the day there were companies like Microsoft, Google, Apple, and they're still big today, right? But the thing that's really big now is these influencers, right? Not only making money from ad revenue and that type of thing, pay-per-view or whatever, but also making money through selling courses. And you're not selling shit if you're bad at social interactions, right? Which is why I think it's such an important skill to develop. And to stop yourself from being cooped up, which is easy to be, because you don't have to really face that much like pushback, you could say. When you're just alone and everything, then it could feel like the greatest thing to just sit at home and you're working and stuff, you're being productive, which is great. I recommend doing that for like a year or two. But you never like go out and see the world, because there's so much that you learn from experience, which is why we always used to like listen to the village elder or whatever, because some experience and some like life lived does come with a lot of lessons, a lot of good lessons. And then there are people who are old who are just you shouldn't listen to them, so it's different, right? But usually they know something that you don't know, even if you might think with the hubris of youth that like everything, right? But you gotta experience the world, man. And not just for like everything productive you can do and learning these social skills, but also because you're gonna get like I don't think it's good for your mental health to just be at home and just be alone, right? I think we need some people, and not just like calling your parents, which is great, by the way, you should be doing that, and not just like meeting a couple of friends, but actually doing a lot of things and seeing the world, going out. And I totally relate to people who get that like cooped up feeling, because I get that a lot. Even when I'm here, I'm in Tokyo, right? I live here, and even here I get this feeling of like I don't really want to go out to do things. There's a lot of things to see. I can go to Tokyo Tower, I can go to and do a lot of things, but I don't really want to. Sometimes it just feels like the best place is at home. And why is the best place at home, and why is the best place alone? It's because you don't have any other people to worry about, because you always think that you know yourself well, right? At least unconsciously or whatever. And we could go into how that's not really true, but if you're speaking with people, people will sometimes, they won't go the way you want them to go. They'll get mad at you for stupid reasons, or you'll think they'll get mad at you, so you'll act like it, and then it's kind of hard to gauge sometimes how and what other people are thinking. And that's something that's difficult, and that's something you should need to learn to experience, because you know, if you're not experiencing that hardship and if you're not experiencing that pushback, then you're never gonna be ready for it. And when you're just at home and not building these experiences and learning things about the world, it's very easy for you to just miss out on all of this and to make your dragons way bigger than they have to be. Because if we're thinking about like a social interaction, just going up to someone and talking to them or whatever, that's not that hard really. Like, I swear, if you just will yourself to do it, you can do that. It's not that hard. But if you build it up in your head and you don't really do it and you're just sitting and thinking about it, that's gonna become a major challenge, because everything is inwardly, everything is just a reflection of the inner world, right? No pain that you have ever felt in your life has actually been a real pain. Because let's take two people. One person is strong, right? Mentally strong-willed, and let's take a person who's mentally weak-willed. And maybe we could say the weak-willed guy is a sheltered dude who's grown up with a mom, like single mother, and he's been protected all his life. Never really got to experience all the hardships, never got to play sports or like boxing or whatever, because it's dangerous, you can hurt yourself, right? And we take another guy who does MMA or something, and we subject them to the exact same electrical shock, no difference in the voltage or anything. The guy who's strong-willed is gonna rate the pain as lesser than the guy who's weak-willed. That's just how it goes. So pain is subjective in that way. And we humans, we always think like, oh, my pain is the worst, I'm going through the worst pain, there's no one else on my level. But then you gotta think, like, would you switch the pain you are experiencing for a random person's pain in the world? Your problems, your like things, would you at random just exchange them? I don't think you would. Because you're having problems with like things that are understandable, right? You're bad at socializing, right? You can't really make any friends and stuff, and that's a big issue. But you wouldn't exchange that for a child who got his house bombed and saw his parents blow up. Like, you know, there are always people who have it worse, and that doesn't do shit for me, it doesn't do shit for anyone to hear, because we can't really conceptualize that. It doesn't really matter to us, right? Some fucking random person. But the thing is, your pain isn't as big as you think it is, okay? It's like, it's not that deep, and you're just thinking that it's deep because you've never experienced it. If you were to do the thing, and I hate like farming rejection and all of this stuff, because it's lessening your confidence, but if you never go up to the girl anyhow, then what the fuck does it even matter if you're never gonna speak to her? So I say just fucking do it sometimes, right? It depends on like, because you're not trying to get like pepper sprayed. You'll never talk to a woman again after that, bro. You're not trying to get pepper sprayed and like, you know, because there are a lot of fucking evil women, you know, and that's not a good thing for you. But you kind of need to take that first step anyhow, because if you're just thinking that they're all scary and like they're all evil and everything, which there could be some truth to, right? But if you're just thinking that and never really experiencing anything different, then you're just gonna build a bigger and bigger problem, which you don't need. Why would the fuck would you want a bigger problem, right? Nobody wants that. So get out of your room and go out and do the things that you want to do, because if you want to do something but you're held back by fear, that should never be a fucking thing. You should never ever listen to that fear, because like, think about all the embarrassing moments and everything in the past. Where are they now? Who fucking remembers that except for you? You know? So it doesn't really matter. Just go out, do things, see the world, see people, and don't stay holed up in your room too much. But also don't be like, you know, those people who are always going to parties and stuff, because there's two sides of the same coin, right? You kind of have to walk the middle path. You can't just be completely to one side, you can't be completely to the other, you know. So there's got to be some balance, and I prefer doing that in a way where I'm kind of like I take turns with it, you know, being in the world and being by myself. Every week or every other week, I guess I should say, I study, I read books, I do all of this stuff that's like hold up in my room and everything. But then on the other weeks, I go out with my friends, hang out, and I play games with them and everything. So you kind of need to have these both sides of the same coin, because yeah, the party guy is a homo, right? Nobody likes him, and he never like goes anywhere because he's just constantly seeking out his emotions and like people to soothe his pain. But the person who's always inwardly and always just sitting inside in his room never gets to experience the world and never gets to experience the hardship and build up a tolerance against that kind of thing. So yeah, that's it. And if you want some more stuff which is more focused on life here in Japan, in Tokyo, I guess I could drop that. I don't really like to make videos here because it's like, I'm not trying to be that tourist, you know, it's loud and obnoxious, talking to a camera in English, right? But I can find like parks like this completely empty right now. At least I hope so. So yeah, see you.